The courtroom was very quiet. Everyone was waiting to hear what would happen next. It was a big day. A famous man named 50 Cent, who is a rapper and also called Curtis Jackson, was going to talk in court. He had said many things online about another music star, Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs. Now, he was ready to say those things in front of a judge. For years, 50 Cent had made jokes and comments about Diddy on the internet. People thought he was just being funny or trying to tease. But now it was serious. This time, 50 Cent wasn't joking. He came to court and promised to tell the truth. He told the judge and the people in the room what he knew about Diddy's actions. There were big questions about Diddy and some serious things he might have done. The court was trying to find out the truth. As 50 Cent sat in the witness chair, the judge told everyone in the courtroom to stay calm. But people could feel the tension. It was like holding your breath, waiting for something big. 50 Cent started talking. He said this wasn't the first time he had talked about Diddy. Their problem started a long time ago, not in court but in jokes and small comments. He reminded the court that he had been warning people for years. In 2014, 50 Cent posted a funny picture, a meme, online. The picture showed Diddy and another rapper, Rick Ross, and it looked like they were closer than just friends. People laughed and talked about it for days, but most thought it was just a joke. Then in 2018, 50 Cent went on a radio show called The Breakfast Club. He talked about a strange moment with Diddy. One time, Diddy asked 50 Cent to go shopping together. Diddy said, "I'll pay for it." 50 Cent thought that was weird. He said, "What man invites another man to go shopping and says he'll buy everything?" Everyone in the room laughed, but the message was clear. 50 Cent was trying to say that something about Diddy's actions felt wrong or strange to him. In 2022, people began to sue Diddy. A singer named Cassie, who had worked with Diddy, shared a very serious story about what she went through. Many people started believing 50 Cent was right. He posted online, "Told you." Now people didn't just think he was teasing anymore. They saw him as someone who had been trying to warn them. Now in court, 50 Cent was not playing around. He came as a surprise witness. That means nobody thought he would come to talk. But there he was, ready to tell everything. He said he had been to many music events and private parties where he saw things that didn't feel right. He said he brought a list with him. The list had names, moments, and what he saw. He said, "This is just the beginning." The first person on the list was another rapper named Fabulous. One time on a podcast called Drink Champs, Diddy asked Fabulous why they never partied together. Diddy was smiling, but Fabulous looked uncomfortable and laughed nervously. In court, 50 Cent said he was there when that happened. He said Fabulous looked scared, not happy. 50 said that later, at a private party, Diddy tried again to get Fabulous to stay. Diddy kept saying, "Come on, I got a room upstairs, just chill." But Fabulous didn't want to stay. He made an excuse to go to the bathroom and left the party secretly. 50 Cent said, "That's what Diddy does. He pressures people." Then 50 said something big. "I warned other young rappers too. I told them not to go to Diddy's house, not to take gifts, and not to go to the after party. That's when things get scary." The courtroom was very quiet. Everyone was listening closely. Then 50 Cent said something shocking. He mentioned a famous singer, Justin Bieber. "Now this might surprise you," 50 Cent said. "People still see Justin as a sweet kid. But Diddy had him around when he was very young, and it didn't feel right to a lot of people." He talked about an old video where Diddy said he was going to spend 48 hours with Justin. Diddy said it playfully, like a joke. But 50 Cent said people in the music business knew what it really meant. He said, "No one talks about mentoring a kid at 2 a.m. in Miami." When the court asked 50 what he thought happened, he didn't give all the details. But he said this, "I didn't see it myself, but I heard from people close to Justin. They said he was shown things that no kid should ever see." 50 said that Justin later stopped hanging out with Diddy. In one interview, someone asked Justin if he'd let his own child go to Diddy's summer camp, called Flavor Camp. Justin laughed nervously and said, "Hell no. That wasn't a joke," 50 Cent said. That was him remembering. He told the court that Justin's sad times, like his public breakdowns and emotional struggles, might have come from things that happened when he was young in the music world. He said Diddy found young stars, gave them gifts, promised to help them, and then used those things to control them. When asked if Justin ever told the full story, 50 said no. Not in words. But look at what he doesn't say. Look at how fast he moved away from Diddy. Everyone in court was still very quiet. Diddy was sitting at the table, not saying anything, looking down. But 50 wasn't finished. "There's more," he said. "This next part is something I heard from someone who saw it with his own eyes." Then he named the person, Gene Deal. Gene Deal was Diddy's bodyguard a long time ago. That means he helped protect Diddy and watched over him. Gene had shared some stories in interviews before. Now 50 was repeating one of those stories in court. He talked about a trip to an adult store. That's a place that sells things for grown-ups. Gene said Diddy bought a lot of strange stuff. So much that Gene had to help carry the bags. But what happened later made the story even more surprising. They flew to a show in North Carolina. Gene said that Diddy and another rapper named Ja Rule went into a private room. Gene was told to stand outside and guard the door. The story stopped there for the court, but everyone could guess what Gene meant. 50 Cent said Gene didn't like what he saw during those years. He had kept quiet for a long time, but now his story was being told again. As 50 kept talking, people in the courtroom were shocked. This was more than a beef between rappers. This was someone speaking out about scary things happening behind closed doors in the music world. And 50 Cent wasn't done. He said, "There are more names. More people who know. But they're scared. Puff, Diddy, has lawyers, money, and power. People don't want to go against that." But 50 Cent said he was not afraid anymore. He was ready to tell the truth. He wanted everyone to hear it. The court was still listening. The judge stayed serious. People whispered quietly to each other, wondering who 50 Cent would name next and what else he would say. And this, the court knew, was only the beginning. A few minutes later, Ja Rule opened the door, looked outside, and said to 50 Cent, "Yo, you might not want to come in here. It's kind of weird here tonight." Everyone in the courtroom got quiet. The people asking questions leaned forward. What did he mean by that? They wondered. 50 Cent didn't try to hide anything. He said he wasn't talking about candles or bubble baths. He meant something strange was going on in that room. It wasn't just two guys hanging out. They asked why Ja Rule never talked about it before. 50 Cent said, "That's what I've been saying for years. Nobody wanted to say anything. But now I'm here, and I'm saying it." He told them he wasn't trying to make fun of anyone. He just wanted to show that something bad was happening. "It's not about being gay," he said. "It's about people with money and power using others. It's about people doing whatever they want to others, just because they can." He said the story with Ja Rule was just one of many. He said things like this happen a lot, behind closed doors, and nobody talked about it because they were scared or told not to. Ja Rule never said anything about what happened, but 50 said, he hasn't been the same since. Just like a lot of others I haven't even named yet. Next, 50 Cent talked about a young singer named YK Osiris. He said, "I saw something strange going on with Osiris before the rest of the world noticed. The kid had one hit song and suddenly he was hanging out with Puff." 50 Cent said Puff did the same thing every time. He gives young stars money, attention, big trips, and says he'll help their careers. He took Osiris to Jamaica, 50 said. "People think it was just a fun vacation. But I told you before, Puff doesn't take people places for no reason. He always wants something back." People on the internet had noticed something too. Osiris posted pictures from Jamaica, and Puff was there at the same time. Fans saw they were at the same hotel, same beach, same week. But Osiris said he was there with his girlfriend. Still, something felt wrong, especially to people who had been in the music business a long time. Then Osiris went on Instagram Live. He cried and said he felt lonely. He said no one really knows what happens in the music world. 50 Cent showed that video in the courtroom. "That boy was really hurting," 50 said. "And no one helped him. That's what happens when Puff uses you and then throws you away." He said Puff has a pattern. He finds young stars, treats them nice at first, gives them things, makes them feel special. But then things change. The stars start to feel sad, confused, and lost. Puff walks away like nothing happened. The lawyers asked if Osiris ever said Puff hurt him directly. Not with words, 50 said. But the signs were there. That breakdown he had on Instagram? That's what people do when they feel stuck and can't explain what's wrong. The courtroom was quiet. Everyone was trying to understand what they just heard. Then 50 Cent said more names. Next, he talked about Fabulous and Kevin Hart. You might not think they have anything to do with this, he said. But I saw it. He reminded the court about a strange interview where Puff talked to Fabulous and asked him why they never partied together. Look at Fab's face in that video, 50 said. He wasn't happy. He wasn't laughing. He looked like someone who remembered something scary. Then he talked about Kevin Hart. Kevin once went on a live video with Puff, and things got weird. Kevin laughed, but 50 said he looked uncomfortable. He said Puff throws wild parties, but he doesn't let guests bring their own security guards. Why do you think that is? 50 asked. He told stories about parties with secret rooms, phones taken away, contracts that stop people from talking, and weird things that happened. Puff gets people to do things they would never do in front of other people, 50 said. And once you go to one of those parties, he controls you. He said Kevin and Fabulous tried to act like everything was fine, but their faces showed they were not okay. You ever see someone laughing but they look sad inside? He asked. Watch those clips again. He added, sometimes it's not what happened. It's about how people were made to feel. Puff makes people feel like they owe him something. Everyone in the courtroom listened closely. The videos 50 was talking about were already online. Now, the truth behind the awkward laughs was being revealed. Then, 50 Cent reached into his jacket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. This, he said, is the list. The one people said didn't exist. He began reading the names one by one. Justin Bieber, Ja Rule, Bow Wow, Trey Songz, Kevin Hart, Fabulous, YK Osiris, and more. He said, some names I'm not going to say yet. They're not ready. But they will be. People in the courtroom were shocked. These weren't small names. These were famous people, artists loved by fans, now part of something darker. Puff didn't do this alone, 50 said. He had help. A whole system. People who looked the other way. People who cleaned up after him. People who let it happen. He said the silence wasn't just because people were scared. It was because they were being protected. They signed papers saying they could never talk about Puff, his family, or his parties. Some of the names on the list, 50 said, were not victims. They helped Puff. They brought in others. But 50 said, I'm not naming them. Not today. When they asked why he finally decided to speak, 50 said, because I've seen too many people fall apart. I've seen too many breakdowns. I have kids. And I'm not letting this man hurt the next generation. He said, this trial isn't just about one video. It's not just about Cassie. It's about power. About how Puff used it to hurt people. And I'm not staying quiet anymore. The courtroom didn't clap or cheer. It was completely silent. Because when someone like 50 Cent speaks, someone powerful, someone respected, things change. As people left the courtroom, it wasn't just Puff Daddy who looked worried. It was the whole music industry. 50 Cent hadn't just given his testimony. He had opened a door that had been locked for years. Right after his speech, the headlines were everywhere. 50 Cent names names in Diddy trial. Freak-off scandal grows. Is hip-hop's power crumbling? But behind the scenes, bigger things were happening. Publicists started working overtime to clean up their celebrity clients' images. Lawyers began sending out, do not talk, letters. And stars who used to post pictures with Puff suddenly deleted those posts. Some celebrities even deleted their entire social media pages overnight. People close to the case said many stars who were named were very scared about being the next ones called to court. They're getting lawyers now, one insider said. This thing is about to get a lot bigger. In Hollywood, people were whispering. Agents told their clients to stay away from Puff. Big brands paused deals with artists who worked with Puff. Even Kevin Hart, who once joked about Puff's weirdness, canceled 2 shows. He said he wanted family time. Meanwhile, fans online started digging up old videos, old interviews, and strange posts. Every Drink Champs episode, every Instagram video, every weird moment from a party. People watched it again, looking for clues. This is the hashtag #MeToo moment for male artists, one person wrote. And it's just starting. The scariest part? The NDAs. Some old bad boy artists quietly told reporters they signed papers that said they could never say anything bad about Puff, his family, or his friends. One contract even said they couldn't talk about strange things they saw at parties. But 50 Cent didn't care. The next morning, he posted a picture on Instagram. The caption said, "They tried to cancel me before. I dare them to try again. Y'all not going to shut me up while these people suffer." The picture showed 50 standing in front of the courthouse. Underneath, he wrote, "More names coming soon." The silence was broken. And for the first time, the powerful people who had stayed safe for years were finally being looked at. The world was watching. And everything was starting to change. If you like this story, tell me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun adventures and mysteries. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.